So it's time for the FA Cup, but is the league more important or the cup? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's get into the preview. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to the preview for Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Coming up, as always, we'll talk you through the predicted lineup and a lineup that I think I'd like to see. We'll talk you through the Manchester United team, and of course, I'll tell you how I think this is all gonna pan out. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And if you do want any gifts that are officially licensed Forest products, then go check out FOCO using code FFTV10 at checkout to get yourself a further 10% off. Do you want a bottle of Happy Clapper juice? Do you want the world famous City Ground? There's all kinds of great Forest gifts on there. The link's pinned in the comments. Okay, let's get into this. So, I'll be honest with you guys. Priority for me is the league. I know I asked that in the intro. What's the priority? I'm sure all the answers are saying league. However, this is Manchester United, and God, do I hate them. So any opportunity to stick it to those plastic fans, I'm more than happy to take. And they are heavily depleted. They've got injuries coming out their backside. If you haven't seen the preview we did with Flex yesterday, go check it out. I'll leave it on the end screen for you. And you can see just how depressed they are at the moment. Bear in mind, they've won 4 out of their last 5 games. But that Fulham game really has knocked the stuffing out of them. But with Forest as well, we've had a little kick in the ribs. We've had, that loss to Villa. And although I don't care too much about the FA Cup, I would like to, win it and get into Europe. That'd be fantastic. But what I really want from this FA Cup match is just momentum. I want momentum going into a hard game this weekend against Liverpool. Then we got, who's next? Brighton, I think it is, who have got some injury doubts themselves. They've got Roma either the side of the game. We're playing them. And then Luton. Although if Forest do win this match, this will take place, I believe, the same time that the Luton match should take place. So that's going to be kicked down the road as well. Things are going to get spicy. Okay, let's get into this and let's start talking about the teams. Now, I want to start with a team that I wouldn't mind seeing here. And as the title of the video says, it's Reyna time, man. Let it rain, as E17 said. I think he will start this game. Now, I'm not saying this is the team that will be fielded tonight. I just think this could be a good experimental team where we get to see Reyna, Rodrigo up front, and Origi on the right-hand side because it rests a couple of players. I think Morgan Gibbs-White needs a rest. I definitely think Taiwo is nowhere near fitness. But I don't think Nuno will go for this. And I just want to have the answer to the experimental question of, is Murillo good enough to play at CDM? Can he do that? And then we could put Niakate and Omar Bamadeli as the back 2. And then Montiel, who was on the bench last week against Villa, he could go right back. Nico Williams left back. I know a lot of you are going to say Tuffalo. But it seems quite clear that Tuffalo isn't fancied by Nuno. And it must be for good reason. So I'm just going to go with what Nuno thinks there. Now, Origi looks good against Villa on that right-hand wing. I didn't like Elanga up front. Elanga could come in, but I just think he's going to play Origi. Look, let me shuffle the pack here and tell you what I actually think's going to happen rather than my experimental team. I think Nuno will go strong. He likes the FA Cup. I think what he's going to do, he's going to go with the Niakate-Murillo combo at the back there. I actually do think he will go for these fullbacks as Nico Williams on the left and Montiel on the right-hand side. And then I think out of necessity, he's going to go Dominguez. And he might go Ryan Yates instead of Danilo, which I'm not for at all. Because Danilo's been inconsistent. Ryan Yates is very inconsistent. I just got a feeling he's going to go with Yates there. Now, I don't think Ribeiro will start, but I don't think Taiwo will either. So I think Origi will be up front. And I think Elanga will continue on the right-hand side, especially as it's against his old club. I think Morgan Gibbs-White will be rested and brought on if required. So I think Morgan and Taiwo will end up rested. And this will roughly be the team that he goes with. Now, there is a chance we see Turner coming in goal. I don't think so. I think it'll still be Sells, even though Turner has played some of the cup matches. So has Vlachodimos. But Turner wouldn't have played against Bristol City had Sells been eligible to play, because if you remember the whole pre-register thing that was going on there. So this is a team I think that Forest will go with. Would I be happy with that? It's just the 8th one really for me. And he should not play Taiwo. Taiwo is not fit. Rest him up, save him for Liverpool, because for me, that's more important. What do you guys think about this team? Do you agree with it or not? Let me know in the comments down. Okay, let's move across and have a quick look at the Manchester United team. And thankfully, I don't think they'll be playing in this stupid green kit. I think they'll be in the white kit. But there is more injury concerns for them, as Bruno Fernandes, the ferret, looks like he's picked up a knock and is a doubt for this game. I think that's a disadvantage to us because he's been absolutely crap for Man U. The other one who's meant to be injured as well is Varane. Varane's a doubt for this game. And Maguire. So it gets better for Manchester United rather than worse if Maguire's not playing. And if that's the case, what we're probably going to see is old man Johnny Evans and Lindelof. Now, I actually think Johnny Evans has probably been one of their better centre-backs this year. Lindelof, he's weak on the ball. He doesn't worry me too much. And then the question is, what are they going to do at left-back? Well, they could go for Amrabat because Luke Shaw is injured. He did put Anthony on, believe it or not, for like a minute at the end of their game against Fulham at left-back. But I just think he'll probably go Amrabat. That will be probably the one he goes with, because Lindelof, who did play there, is going to have to be shuffled into the middle because they're low on numbers. Now, Casemiro went off with a concussion, but he's been cleared. So it's most likely going to be Casemiro and Manua as the 2 in the 6 and the 8 position for Man U. And then if Bruno's not playing, you're probably going to see Eriksen in the 10 position. Now, up front is where he's got his headaches with Pizza Face out still. Rashford is probably still going to play as the 9, even though I'm pretty sure most of the United fan base would say, don't do it, man. Play with 10 men. Would be better off that way. Because they all seem to think that Rashford can only play out on the left. And to be honest, I tend to agree. He's not a great number 9. And what that means is that Garnacho's being shuffled across to the left-hand side, where normally when they've had Rashford, Højlund and Garnacho, he would be on the right-hand side. So it leaves a hole in that RW position. Now, I think he'll go Ahmed. There was a youngster that he used last week against Fulham. No idea who he is. He didn't look great. But it could be Ahmed, or he could bring in Anthony, the old fidget spinner, on that right-hand side. But he's heavily fallen out of favour. Either way, Manchester United are struggling with outfield players right now, and Forest really should start to smell blood. This is not a good team at all. But let's not forget their secret weapon, which of course is VAR, and that never gets injured for them. What do you guys think of this Man U team? Is it weak, or do you worry about it? Let me know in the comments down below. So how does this game play out? Well, statistically, Forest will always score 2 goals under Nuno. So the question is, can they continue to do that? And if they do that, will Manchester United have 2 goals in them to either keep them in the tie or maybe get a third? Who knows? I don't think with that firepower that they've got in that team that there is 2 goals in them. However, Forest make mistakes, and mistakes are what we leak most of our goals from. So it's a case of concentration 100% of the time should do Forest well this match. But this is Forest, and we've struggled in the cup in all of the rounds, all of them going to the maximum pretty much. Extra time across 2 legs against Blackpool, penalties against Bristol after 2 legs, and now Manchester United. Now, just to clarify, there is no 2 legs. In the case of a draw, this will go straight to extra time and penalties, so it will be decided at the City ground. And that will work in Forest's favour. I anticipate a really good atmosphere. I expect the Forest faithful to be up for it. The City ground to be booming. Just make sure you're not standing. Let's not get into that debate right now. But I think Forest will come out on top on this one. Even though I'm not fully confident on it, I just want to know how much that 4-2 loss to Villa has knocked the stuffing out of us. Hopefully not a lot at all. But the most important thing for this for Forest, win, lose or draw, well technically you can't draw, is no injuries. No injuries. We've got an important month ahead of us and we could do without any more injuries. Now, the final point I want to make is on the AFCON players. Einar apparently still out, Bolly and Sangare. No timeframes have been put against them. And I'm just not sure what's going on there. I really don't. I got a feeling Cooper's old sponge may come out at some point, maybe for the Liverpool match. But if it did, I would have liked to have seen them in this game just to get them up to speed, back up to tempo with Premier League football or English domestic football, if you like. So I'm going to go for 2-1 to Forest on this one. It may go 1-1 and Forest take it in extra time. That would be the most Forest thing to do because we really could do without the extra minutes. Get your score predictions in down below. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you're new. And of course, we'll have the watch along for you tonight. So if you're not going to the game, make sure you tune in. And we'll talk you through all of that, including the draw for the quarterfinals. Go check out our video with Flex from United View to get the opinion on how the Manchester United fans are feeling. And if you haven't seen our video with Everton Mike, check that out as well. That's an update on the PSR side from the Everton perspective, which is really important for us to know. We'll see you tonight on the watch along. Come on, you Reds.